Hey guys, welcome back. As you know, today is a weekend day and we don't have anything going on for the job seeking. So that's why we are going to immediately go to coding. It's not going to be a long stream. Again, I just want to relax a little, but we we always work on our goals, right? It doesn't matter um, how long we do. It's just I just want to show up consistently every day. That is my goal of this channel. Also, what I tried to promise on this channel, and it's been pretty good so far. So yeah, I'm pretty proud, and yeah, let's get in immediately into it, right? I am, however, gonna get something to drink. Looks pretty close. Okay, we have an issue here. This one looks also pretty close. Very happy about the results so far. Yeah. Can work on a bit of on animations, but I don't think it's important right now, to be honest. Yeah. And I don't want to play this shader. I think it's totally fine to have this normal shader for now. Yeah. So yeah, how does the real website look like? We're gonna scroll. Like so, this one is going a little bit to the back. It's a pretty interesting effect. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do this effect because this one is going to the back and this one is going to the front. So that's some pretty interesting set index kind of vibe. I'm not sure how to work on that, but we'll see about that. And it seems that everything is a bit moving down. I'm not interested in do that per se. Yeah, but this is the okay. I cannot do this because then I have to do group pairing. I think that's fine for Framer, but I don't see myself doing that. Yeah, anything else. So this one is pretty unique as well. Yeah, we can definitely work on that. There's so many things to do, to be honest. This one is even darker. Yeah, so where we at? We are almost halfway. We are here, aside from the animations. So yeah, let's work on that. Testimonials, it's called apparently. So let's work on that. Testimonials. Okay, children can go. Okay, and the important part is you have to do something like this, but there's no third one. Let me see how I made this. Just wanna see. Okay, it seems like I've used 3 items. Very interesting. Do I have another example for this? I think why choose us is a better kind of result to take over. So let's actually do that then. So let's go to why choose us. And we have somewhere on the top, section header, this one. And we have something like this, yeah. Okay, let's go to our testimonials and just paste this. Let's import section header, and let's import this one. Seems to be an issue. What is the issue? Section has no corresponding closing tag. I see. Section. That's an issue. Right above. Okay. Let's see how it looks. We have to import that. Let's go to not app, not layout, not. Why do I keep forgetting that name? That's pretty annoying. Okay, what's it called? Page. Just page. We're gonna do testimonials. Okay. Now, instead of that, we have like big letters called services or projects. So let's work on the projects part. And this is called with the heading in our clients or just projects. So let's go to projects with the big letters that says projects. Great. And also there's a 2025. Is it also the same at the other one? Let's see. Yeah. Okay, so we have to do the span and this one. Yeah. I think that will be after the h2. Why choose us? Diff proven results for every project. Okay, I think this can go, and let's import big caption from typography main. Yeah, that's correct. And let's see how it looks. Okay, it says projects, but we want experience instead. Okay, and that looks pretty much the same. The only thing that we need to change is testimonial. Okay, testimonials. Right, let me see if that is correctly spelled. Yes, and this also makes total sense. And then we can start with the second one. Okay, so this is going to be pretty interesting to work on this. So I'm gonna try and find patterns, but really I do not see them. So I think it's better to have a grid with a call span of 4 and then work on the patterns here, but first work on this one. So let's work on that. So first things first, we have a section header where I want to do no, let's do here PB 140 pixels and button. Okay, so we have some spacing, and that actually can be half of that. So let's do actually 70. Yo man, what are you doing? Okay, I'll show you. So we are making an advanced project. I will show you the project. So we're gonna make this front-end design with animations, with global state management, Docker, and a couple of more things. So it's pretty interesting projects. I'm gonna make it a little bit different because this is Framer, and Framer you have more freedom to do certain things, and Framer has more inconsistencies, and I'm working more consistent. But yeah, this is what we are working on. It's a pretty advanced project. I think we are halfway. Yeah. So yeah, I'm pretty excited. So that's what I'm doing. And now we're gonna make this part. Let me see this part here. So this is going to be a grid with a span of 4. we're gonna have 4 things. These ones are repeated, but this one is not, so we're gonna make this one first, and then we'll see what happens. Alright, so let's make this one. And we're gonna do a data too. Data, testimonials, content. Okay. Now we want to set like a grid, and I say grid, span. I think it's span 4, call span, calls 4. Okay. And then we have 3 diffs. Okay. 4 diffs. And let's use alt for this because we're gonna give this a multi-cursor. You can select alt and click with your mouse, and I'm gonna say data, this one, project, this one, grid, and on the grid I'm gonna obviously do this. And I'm gonna say call start 1, and this is gonna be 2, 3, and 4. And now, if you know a little bit about grids, very interesting. There's nothing here, but I will show you maybe an example of a grid. Basically, let me see where I can find the closest grid. I think that will be here. Yeah. Okay. We have a grid here. So call start here means I'm gonna use this one. Call start 2 is gonna start here. Call start 3 is gonna start here. Call start 4 is gonna start here. And because we have 4 items, we can do this. So yeah. Okay. Great. Let's start with the first one. It has I made a little bit before, so let me grab it here. Let me see how big the difference is. It's pretty similar, but not exactly, right? But I want to copy some code from this one, and this is why choose us, right grid lower. Okay, so we are going to that specific element, and we're going to copy some data. Always try to things you have run before, we don't make new ones, we just change it, right? So this is in the why choose us section. So why choose us, and it's content lower, right lower. So there's this one. So let's copy this one. I'm not sure. This one. One div, two div, one div, two div. Okay. And let's see. Let's go to the testimonials, and we're just gonna check what this code is. Give me a second. So I'm gonna paste it here, and we're just gonna check. Okay, BG white, call. Okay, we can use this code, and let's see what we get on the screen. First an error because we have some code we cannot really use here. And let's see what we have. Okay, we have something here. Let's see how big this actually is. So I am using this one, just a plain old inspector. And yeah, let's see if I'm at the right one. Okay, so this is the grid. Okay. And I'm gonna scroll down, and it seems like it's 317 by 471, and it has a padding of 30. So, okay, so let's do that. So 317 and it has a height. Let me see what the height is. Here it's 456 is what I said. Let me see. 471. Sorry, 471, and it has a padding of 30 pixels. So I'm just gonna say 30 pixels for consistency. It seems a bit on the thin side, right? 317 and 30 padding. Oh, okay. I see what they did there. I have to count 60 for each. Okay, so this is 377, and it's a bit taller, 60 pixels taller as well. So that will be 531. Okay, something like this. Yeah, that looks pretty similar, right? Okay, so we have that first div, and we're gonna create some content in this. Let me get some water real quick. Give me a second. Um, okay. All right. Let me get some water. It's been a very hot day, so. All right. Okay. Mm, it seems we have a little bit of a spacing issue. I thought I fixed it, but apparently not. Let's see why. So on the section, I said PP70, but that seems not to be working. Let's see why. Oh, okay, because it's here all the way on the bottom. Um, then instead of that, to fix that really quick, we're gonna say padding top of 70, just to fix that. Okay, and then we have like a padding bottom of 240 pixels, I think. Yeah, that's pretty much the distance. Yeah. Okay, so we have that first one. So we have a flex here. We have two of them. So let's start with the top one. So we're gonna open our div. We're gonna create obviously another div. And here we're gonna say flex. And we are going to say item center and justify between. Justify between. Now why are we doing that? Because here we're gonna have two contents. And the first one is going to be int h1, and the number is 4.9. Let's see how that looks. Maybe it's too big. Yeah, so we also have another one, and that looks in between. That's very interesting. So let's go this one. Okay, so we have a little bit of an issue here. Okay, we're gonna say h2 then, and we're gonna say 4.9. Int h2 is not defined. Okay, let's go to the end. Okay, and we seem to have like a issue with sizing, so we're gonna fix that real quick. Let's see what it actually is. It doesn't say what it is. I don't see font family enter, placeholder, font selector. It's not 12 pixels. Color, white space, margin block. Okay, let's go all the way on top. It's 6 pixels. Okay, so maybe we can do a class name here and we say text slash 6 pixels. Okay, great. Now, immediately after that, we have a span. Maybe we have to do it actually inside of here. So let's do that. And this is going to be /5. And this is going to be a text. Class name is going to have a text of 626262. And let's see how it looks. Okay. Now we have to reduce the text size to text 16 pixels. Okay. So there's a little bit of a spacing here. So we're going to say tracking normal. Okay, that looks pretty close in my opinion. Okay. Now, this is the first div. After this, we're going to create another div. And we're going to grab that text here. And that text is... we did this before, this kind of text, I think. Let me see. Or did we not? Kinda. It's not the same. In that case, let me see how big it is. It seems like a normal P. So instead of a div, we're gonna do a P tag that I created before. Go to main. I'm gonna copy this text. Let's see how it looks. Okay. So there seems to be space between, is what I said. But that wasn't really helping. So we have to work on that a little bit. Okay, I don't know. Okay. No, it's fine. I'm not gonna adjust things. Okay, let's see. 56 projects. So we're gonna say span 56 projects. And we're gonna say, in that case, class name of text black. And the other ones, we're gonna say class name of text 626262. And we have something like this. Now we have a little bit of a problem. And we have a P tag and this tag, but it doesn't seem to understand the justify between, and I wonder why. Maybe I need a margin left or a gap. Let's work on the gap for a little bit so we can say on the justify between, we're going to say even gap 4. Let's see how it looks. It can be a little bit bigger, gap 6 maybe. Okay, that looks exactly the same in my opinion. One problem is that instead of item center, I want to say item start. Okay, that doesn't necessarily work. Let me think about it. There's a couple of things that I can do. Align, start maybe? Let's see. Okay, that doesn't work. Text, start maybe? Start. Okay, that also doesn't work. Okay, then another solution would be, we have items center, right? That's what we did here. But that doesn't make any sense then. Uh, let's actually push this one, relative, and let's give it a top of -12 pixels. A little bit higher. Okay. I think it's even 16 pixels. Okay. And that looks almost the same. Now, the second thing is, because we have one div here, right? This div here is the first part. And we said call start 1 here and flex justify between. That means we have to also do flex call. And let's work on our second div. So we're gonna say flex call, and we're gonna say a gap of 6, and let's start. So the first thing that we have on the screen says Fabrica. So let's work on that. We already have it somewhere else, and that is on the About Us section. So let's copy that, About Us, and we have this link of Fabrica. And let's go here to testimonials, and this is the first thing that we're gonna paste with Next.js link. Done. Let's go to end. So Fabrica is here now, but it's obviously gonna change, right? We have to create this, which is a div by itself. But what I want to do first is create this button. And let's see if the button, how many times it's repeated. Not a lot. Okay, so we're not gonna work on that. We're gonna work on just the button. So button, button, and then we're gonna steal this in a sense of what we already have in white here, because the text is just a little bit bigger, but that's pretty much it. So let's go to the section called what we do. So now the project gets more interesting, right? So because we have created a lot of content and now it's going to repeating and things are going to be more like faster. So yeah, let's go back to testimonials, and immediately below this we're going to create button, and we're going to say leave a review. Leave a review. The text is going to be a bit bigger, but we'll figure it out soon. Let's do black, and the text is obviously white. Okay, so we have that. So you have leave it review right now, and it seems that it spans all the way across. So there are a couple of tricks for this. I just wonder which tricks I need to do, but first let's do the text a bit bigger. Maybe I can say, because maybe we have a width. Let's do width full. Let's see what happens. Okay, that fixes it immediately. Nice one. Okay, the text is a little bit bigger, so let's see. Or is it just more? I wonder. I think this one is more bold. So let's do bold. Let's see. Yeah, it's a little bit bigger, I would say. Maybe like 2 pixels. We have not adjusted it, so let's do text 18 pixels. Okay, that looks pretty much the same. Yeah, pretty happy with that result. Okay, so we created the button. Now we're gonna create these ones, and it seems to be pretty interesting. A lot of the same images, so we can actually map through that. And we can create 5 images for this. So let's make a static data here. H2 is gone. Okay, great. So we're gonna say const. Okay, it's certain images. Grid image. This is going to be this one, and let's start. So we're gonna say ID is 0, and we're gonna say the image is something we don't know yet. But if we have that, we also have to create a type. So type grid image props is ID will be a number, and the image is going to be a string. Okay, and let's try to apply that here. So grid image props. Let's see if I can do this. Something like this. Grid image props is declared but never read. React.fc. Maybe there's something like this. Oh yeah, then I have to create the this one and this one. Oh, then I have to create this one. Okay, so I create this one. Pretty darn annoying, to be honest. Okay, let's see what we have in the last part where we map through the things. Okay. Okay, great. Parsing error, expected. Yeah, we have to do an expression. We're gonna do that soon. Is there anything else we need? It doesn't seem so. So I think we can just grab the images. 1, 2, 3, 4 images. So we are going to, we're gonna go to our part here. Let's see what we have. Okay, after 35. Is this one of those? Yeah, okay, so this is the one. Testimonial 1. Okay, testimonial 2. Testimonial 3. And testimonial 4. So why I'm doing this? Because we're gonna loop through things, which is specifically the images. So let's go back to testimonials. And let's try to see if you can do this, like images, testimonials. Not sure if I did an S or not, so let me see. Go a little bit here. And to the testimonial one, put this one.jpg. Okay, and we're gonna create that multiple times. Okay, obviously with TypeScript and okay. I'm gonna press Alt Z so we can get it here again. 2, 3, 4. I'm not sure if it's gonna work, but we'll see about that. And this is going to be the source, obviously. So yeah, let's try to how you switch from one window to another without alt tapping. Control, window, arrow, right. If I want to go back, control, window, arrow, left. And you can make as much as you like. I think it was control, not sure what it was. Yeah, there's a certain button where you can create new desktops. So I think not this one. I think this one maybe. Yeah, I don't know, but basically that. Yeah, no worries, bro. All good, right? You can steal every tip you like here. Here you can steal. Okay, let's go back to the testimonials. And before the buttons and after the link, so this is the link and this is the button, we want to render these items. So let's do that. So we're gonna say grid image dot map and we're gonna say open that with a item and ID. This is just the keywords that I'm using. And we're gonna open that and we say gonna return that immediately. I want to have a div first, and this div is gonna be flex, and it's gonna have a gap of 1. And what is your problem? Oh yeah, key prop. We're gonna make the key prop soon. I want to do an image where the source is item dot image. And let's also create an alt tag for all of them. I think that is pretty similar to do that. So let's go here, we say alt, and we're gonna say testimonial, this one. I'm gonna check what's wrong soon. Let me see, image, yeah, I see what's wrong. We have to add it here, so alt is also a string, and then we remove that error. And let's go back to line like 100, Control G, type 100. We don't have that, so let's go to line 84, somewhere here. Okay, for the alt, we then gonna say item dot alt. And also for the images, we're gonna say key is item dot ID. Okay, missing key prop. This is the key prop. Can I just do ID then? Let me just check. Okay. Let me see if I can get rid of that. Item.id. Okay, it's not rendering for a second. We'll see what's going on. Okay. It says missing key prop for element in iterator. Well, I don't want to create a div for the iterator. So in that sense, I'm gonna put this one on top and below, and then we're gonna say the key prop and item ID. Okay. So let's see if we actually get something on the screen or that we have an issue. No, we have something on the screen, and let's refresh. And we still have an issue that says encounter 2 children with the same keys. Okay, so that is true because I said key for everyone, and that should not be. Great. Now we have these images. It seems like some of them are re-rendered multiple times. Now it's fixed. Let's see how big it actually is. It seems like they all have a white border and they are stacked on of each other. Now I don't want to necessarily do that. I'm just gonna put them next to each other like this one, and I'm gonna make it smaller for each one. So I'm gonna say class name, and let's do a width of 100 pixels and let's see how it looks like. Okay, that is way too big. Let's actually make this 32 pixels, which is really small. Okay, that looks pretty similar. Let's see if we can do a gap of 0, which is actually next to each other. And what I want to do for each of them as well, I want to say border 2, I want to say border white, and let's see if we get something on the screen. Okay, yeah, but it's actually not white because it has like a little bit of a black surroundings. Unfortunately, I don't think this is very smart to make. So instead of that, I'm gonna use this background as the example. So some things, like I said, is gonna be a bit different for consistency sake, because this project is made in Framer. I'll show you. So a lot of things are Framer, and Framer you can do whatever you want, right? And does with coding you can, but it will take you a very long time, and we don't have that kind of time. So yeah, we are almost done with this one. So I think the best thing to do now is then to say either shadow, what do they have? Shadow, just shadow. Yeah, okay. We have a lot of shadow here, but yeah, let's do shadow here. Let's see what looks. Okay, that doesn't do anything. Maybe because we need to do shadow like a medium or something. Okay, that doesn't really matter, but for the button it does, because I am applying to the button, which is stupid because I have to apply it here. Okay. Okay, so that does exist, but it doesn't look good. So instead of that, we're gonna just change the color from the background. Now let's see what the background color is again. So we are going to go to the page folder, and we have here the background color. So, and then let's go back. You can also go back with Alt and right. So we are immediately back here. So instead of this one, I'm gonna say instead border, border, this one. And let's see how it looks. Okay, I don't see a little bit of the difference. Is that because I spelled it wrong? Let's see. No, it does not. Let's make it darker, just to test it out. Okay, so it is working. Let's actually make a border of 4, and let's do um, of course it needs to be rounded. Rounded MD, let's see. Okay, I think border 3 was perfect actually. And yeah, we have to pick a color that has a nice contrast here. So in that case, I want to do something with stone. And let's see what this does. Okay, too dark. See, too white. Contrast is not good enough. Okay, maybe it's a good idea to actually make something different. Yeah. Mm, let's think about a solution. Because I can do this, but then I have to make the image, then the border, and then on top of the border I have to make the shadow. Yeah, but I think this is a waste of time. So um, I am just gonna leave it blank, the border and those kinds of stuff. I think we can get away with this. Doesn't look too bad. Let's do gap 1/2. Let's see how it looks. Looks nice enough. I am satisfied with this one. Alright, so we look to the actual grid with a div of flex, and below this part, um, yeah, below this part, we have to make these stars. I'm not sure how they're made. Are they like an? They are an SVG, to be honest. So let me see if I actually have that here. A plus sign. Studio. Oh, we do have the play button. That's good to know. Framer. Okay, so oh, we do have the stars. Okay, good. Stars. Let's go to testimonials and let's try to render the stars. Um, we can do it two ways. Let's do what I think is a good way. So we can say um, there's two ways. Let me see. I don't see the first way right now, so I'm gonna open it here, and I'm just gonna open it up with the notepad and grab the SVG. Go back with Alt, and let's try to render that here. Let's see how it looks. Okay, anchor script had an error. Okay. Okay, we have to work on the sizing, and it seems that our flex here. Let's work on the sizing first. I think that is the best thing what we can do. So let's see. Width is 56 and height is 12. Okay, that's true. But the scaling is not the same as they say. Maybe I'm at the wrong part. Okay, it also has a position of absolute. Okay, so maybe it's useful to actually give this a class name and we say like width is 12%. I'm just saying something. Okay, that would solve the issue, but 20% is too small. This one is too big, so I think it's like 18%. Yeah. And I think this SVG here could actually be its own stuff, but instead of that, what we're gonna do, we're gonna create a div here for this and put all this stuff inside. So like this one, and do one step above. Then we're gonna say flex, and that should fix it. Yeah, fix it. Item center, justify between. Okay, not really working like I expected. It seems like it wants to take all the space. I'm not sure why it wants to take all the space. I can say inline flex maybe for this one. Or I'm at the wrong one. Oh, I'm at the wrong one? Yeah. Okay. Item center. Justify between. Great. And that's not really working like I wanted to. I wonder why. Okay, that should work, but okay. Um, not sure why that is an issue. Justify between. Trusted by clients worldwide. Just do P here. Trusted by clients worldwide. Okay. It seems it ignores that fact. So let's do a class name. Let's do a text of 9 pixels. Are you still with me here? That's what I'm wondering about. Does it completely ignore the fact? Oh, it reloaded. It's not really listening anymore. Bit annoying. Hmm. Oh, I have double flex core here. Why? Okay. Well, instead of that, let's do a P then. Just a normal P. Let's see. This is going to be 9. And we're gonna do maybe 11 pixels. We're gonna say font semi-bold. Okay. It's even bigger. I would say it's even 13. And let's work on a tracking. So tracking is -6 minus 0.0. Okay. Clients worldwide has a span with a different text. So let's work on that. Class name is going to be text 626062. Great. Okay, so we have that part. Now we have to work on this issue. So I'm not sure what's going on here. So we have to go to the parent div. Let's see what's going on. Flex item center justify between. And here we have a flex 1/2. And we have this one. So we have a little bit of an issue here not responding. How would we deal with this? Well, we could argue that we will create a gap between those stuff. So let's go to Fabrica. Here, I'm gonna say gap 4. Let's see how it looks like. Okay, so it does create a gap, but it's not really the solution, you see? You can clearly see this, right? Anyways, I'm not sure where this spacing is coming from, and that seems to be coming from the grid itself, which is this one. But I'm not sure if I should remove that though. No, that's not useful. Okay. That's definitely something we need to work on, but let's work on the gap then. So not this one. Okay, this one. And it has a gap. Let me see where the gap is. This one. And I wanted to reduce the gap a little bit. and I want this one to be bigger. What gap is this, by the way? 19. Let's do 18, and let's make this 22. So that's a bit bigger. It's not as big as I want to, so let's do 24. Okay, that looks pretty close. Mine is a bit smaller. Let's make it a bit bigger then. Let's do 26. Okay, that's kind of looking like it. Theirs is bigger, but it's fine. Okay, now let's make our text smaller. So I had text here of 13. Let's make it 11. Trusted by clients worldwide. Okay, that seems to be pretty similar. Okay, I like this result so far. So that was pretty complex. And we have to actually work on this one. Let me see what the differences are. So here's the orders just different, and these ones are the same. But it's actually time to wrap it up because it's been an hour, and I think we did pretty great. We have come really far. Let's go here. So we did this part, and we checked, did some fixes. So yeah, definitely we have to work. And yeah, I think it looks totally fine. And for the next stream, we're gonna work on these ones and this one with the horizontal bar. Yeah, like the social proofing. So yeah, see you guys. Make sure to subscribe, like, and comment if you want to see me make a 6 on today in 7 years. And I will see you on to the next one.